Hi everybody, welcome back to another installment of Palatable Provisions. I'm Jonathan. So nice to have you guys here with us tonight. Thank you so much for all of your comments and your likes and your subscriptions to our YouTube channel. Eric and I are having so much fun making these videos and with food and cocktails and all that, and we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch them. So tonight we're going to be making a pinwheel steak that is stuffed with prosciutto and provolone cheese. Let's go ahead and take a look at our ingredients. Okay, so we'll need 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, and we'll want to mince that. A small shallot, also minced. 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, mince that as well. 1 teaspoon of sage, finely minced. 1 teaspoon of basil, also minced. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2 to 2.5 pounds of flank steak. 4 ounces of thinly sliced prosciutto, 4 ounces of thinly sliced provolone cheese, salt and pepper to taste, and we'll want to soak some toothpicks in water for 10 minutes so that when we put them in the oven, they don't catch on fire. Now, before we get started on cooking, we have one very important step that we have to take, especially because we are in fact having red meat. We need to open a bottle of red wine and let it breathe for a little bit. So we selected a 2017 Cabernet Sauvignon because it will really pair well with the flavors in our beef dish. So let's go ahead and get this open. Now this is a very fruit-forward wine, and it's got very earthy tones to it. And those earthy tones will really work well with our sage. Let's see if I can practice. I don't usually open red wine bottles, so let's see if I can do it. There, he did it. Now, we need to in fact let this breathe for a little bit, so we're not gonna start drinking it just yet. However, there's no rule that says you can't have a nice glass of white while you're cooking steak. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to make our paste by combining the garlic, shallot, parsley, basil, sage, and olive oil in a small bowl and mix it together. Next, we'll want to take and butterfly our flank steak and pound it down into 2 thin rectangles. Now, we'll want to position the steak so that the grain runs parallel to the edge of the counter. Spread the herb mixture evenly over the surface of the steak. Then, lay prosciutto evenly around the steak, leaving a 1-inch border at the top. On top of the prosciutto, layer the cheese. Before we roll our steak, I want you to pre-cut your pieces of twine and lay them on a cutting board in front of you, because after we roll the steak, we'll go ahead and place it right on there. So since we've placed our steak on parchment paper, we can use that to help roll. So starting from the bottom edge and rolling away from you towards the top, roll the steak into a tight lock and place on the cutting board seam side down on top of your twine. Starting closest to you, tie a piece of kitchen twine around the steak, going in 1-inch increments until the whole steak is tied up. Using a sharp knife, slice the roll between the pieces of twine into 1-inch thick pinwheels. Then, using your toothpicks that have been soaked in water, skewer each pinwheel through the center. Then, season with salt and pepper. Next, heat your skillet over medium-high heat. You can choose to add a little bit of olive oil to aid in the cooking process, but it's completely your choice. Place the pinwheels in the pan and brown for 3 minutes on each side. You can continue to season with salt and pepper to your desired taste. Now, we're ready to finish the cooking. We're going to put the skillet into our preheated oven and cook for 8 to 10 minutes or until steak reaches desired level of doneness. When the steak has reached your level of temperature, remove it from the oven, tent it with aluminum foil, and let it rest for about 5 minutes. Wow, what an exciting adventure we've gone on tonight. We've made our pinwheel steak stuffed with prosciutto and provolone, and I decided that I would add with it our twice-baked potato and Julia Child's buttered frozen peas. The links for those will be at the end of this video. So now, my friends, it's time for us to sit down, enjoy a great meal, and of course, a great glass of wine. Bon